What is up, everyone? Hopefully you're doing well. I have finally finished Baldur's Gate 3. It only took me, what, 2.5 months, however long it's been. Obviously, I was playing it pretty hard and heavy the first few weeks, and then we got into Starfield and Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty, and a bunch of great Game Pass games came out in October that kind of sidetracked me. But I got back into it about a week ago, playing on a daily basis, and I just wrapped up the final stream about 30 minutes ago. Went out, decompressed in the kitchen, and wanted to come back down here and just do some just quick thoughts, now that I'm done, and kind of talk about what's next, because we're obviously not done with Baldur's Gate 3. There's still lots ahead. So yeah, it took me 116 hours and some change to beat the game. I could have gone longer. Um, before I went and did the final fight, I still had probably a dozen quests that I hadn't yet finished, and who knows what else I hadn't even discovered in Act 3. But because of my schedule and everything else, and the fact that I have another playthrough already in the works with my sorcerer, I figured, you know what, we're good to go. I'm 2.5 months in. I got to wrap up Starfield. I got to wrap up Cyberpunk. I got to get ready for Rogue Trader coming down the pipeline in December. So it was time to just finish my first playthrough. Now, I'm lucky in the sense that as a content creator, I have the opportunity to play this game for content purposes and play it through multiple times. Looking back at Pillars of Eternity 1, I think I've done it 4 times. Pillars of Eternity 2, I've done 3 times. Red Dead Redemption 2, I've done 3 times. Baldur's Gate 1, I did like 15, 20 times. Same thing, Baldur's Gate 2. Dragon Age Origins, I did 7 or 8 times, if I recall. So, I mean, this is definitely one of those games where, in the past I would only play one game, but I play lots of different games now. But there's plenty of content left to farm here because there's lots of stuff I haven't seen with Baldur's Gate 3 because of all the permutations. So I'd say that's the first thing I can say right off the bat is that I'm not done with Baldur's Gate 3, but I am done with it being the main focus of the channel. And it hasn't really been the main focus of the channel for about the last, I would say, month or so because we had Starfield, Cyberpunk, and like I said, other stuff came out. So, where do we go from here? It's a good question. There's a lot of stuff we got to do. So first and foremost, I'm going to do my final review, which will be coming out probably in the next couple of days, I would assume, over the weekend. Maybe by Sunday we'll see what my schedule looks like. We're doing outdoor stuff, landscaping and stuff, so it just kind of depends. Monday I got to go back to the dentist. So we'll see. I got my final review coming out, and then on top of that, I'm going to be doing a overall. There's the review portion of it, and then there is I'm actually going to do a video of things I didn't like, because as much as I love this game and I gave it like a 10 out of 10 glowing review, it is my game of the decade so far, definitely my game of the year. There were definitely a handful of things that I didn't care for, and we're going to talk about that a little bit, but they're minor things that did not take away from my overall enjoyment, but those are good for traffic and people like to talk about things, so we're going to talk about that a little bit. If you haven't already done so, in the comments section of the community area for YouTube, there's a tab where you can go where I put posts and things. There's a thread talking about videos that you would like to see me produce around Baldur's Gate 3. So if you've got a specific guide or something you're looking for, go ahead and drop your comments over there, and I will hopefully get to those as we continue to dive deeper in. And of course, I've also got my favorite boss fights. I'm going to be doing that one. So stick around because all of those things are coming down the pipeline. I'll probably do a final thoughts video as well at some point, which is different than the review. Because the review covers like technical things and a bunch of other stuff, but I do want to do a final thoughts because also there's something to be said about what this game is going to do in terms of inspiring other companies to build games like this, or at least strive to build games that are as good as what Larian Studios did with this. One of the conversations that came up during the stream today, someone had asked, did my opinion of the game change after going through Act 3, and did my opinion of Act 3 overall change? And I have to say that no, it didn't. I still think that everything was a masterpiece. I did notice a couple of little things, and if you watch the stream, and I'm sure I'll put out the big bad boss fight at some point for the Brain and Emperor and everything. I played this for the first time through on my old laptop, which has a 1080 in it, and for the most part, I played on ultra the whole way, and for the most part, no frame drops. I played it at the 30 FPS setting because I don't need 60 frames per second on a game like this, and it held up. It held up really well. And the only time I noticed frame drops really was during that last stream that we did earlier today, or just before this recording. And I think it was just because there was so much going on with dragons and mind flayers and all this other crazy stuff. So overall, though, great experience. Yeah, great game. Anyway, I'll be talking about that in my review and stuff like that. So what's next? I think that's the big thing. I was talking about at the beginning. I get sidetracked because there was just so much that happened. I do have the sorcerer playthrough that's going, and I am in the Underdark with that character. And I will be doing two different things with that character. One is which I will be playing a series of recorded sessions that are going to be Let's Play videos. I know quite a bit about the game because I've played it through now. So I know that when I know that there are key areas that I want to record with that playthrough, but I'm also doing completely different characters this time around. So my drow sorcerer is romancing Karlak as an example, and I've got Will in the party, and I will eventually pick up Jahira. When I find her, she will become the fourth main party member for me. This first playthrough I went through with Shadowheart as my romance option, and Lae'zel. By the way, Lae'zel's ending. Oh my God, that was amazing. And Gale. And very good endings with those characters. Very happy with those characters. But this time around with the Drow Sorcerer, I've got a completely different makeup that I'm going to go through with. And there will be some live streams of that Sorcerer playthrough, but it's going to be staggered quite a bit more because, like I said, this isn't my main game at the moment. I have other obligations that I need to do, and as I continue to grow the channel, we got lots of other games we want to play. So right after this, I'm going into finishing up my Starfield playthrough. I got like one more faction storyline, and then I'm going to do the Constellation to the New Game Plus, and then I'll put that on the back burner, and that'll be my additional playthrough. I'll be doing a secondary playthrough of that, and then of course I still have my Netrunner that I'm doing through Cyberpunk 2077, and that'll become the main game once Starfield finishes up, and that'll probably take me through November to get to Rogue Trader. Once Rogue Trader drops, that becomes the main game in December. Now, in between all of that, is going to be the Let's Play sessions from my Drow Sorcerer and a handful of streams. I'll probably stream Baldur's Gate 3 once a week. We'll just see how the schedule looks and how everything goes. But probably roughly once a week, we'll put out a Let's Play video or a stream for this game. But we're obviously moving on to other things because my channel is a variety channel. It's always been a variety channel. I do movie reviews, I do TV shows. I'm a little bit behind on the podcast, but we have the Mondays in Middle Earth. We have the um, Decoding Dune series. We have those two podcasts from Middle Earth and Dune. Chris and I are getting ready to start watching the second season of Wheel of Time, so I'll be reviewing that. So there's a lot of stuff that I do here on the channel. It's not just Baldur's Gate 3. So even though we were Baldur's Gate 3 heavy for about 4 months, about 2 months of pre-launch, the pre-alpha, no, the early access with that, and then a couple of months hardcore with the live game, we are obviously moving on to other things at this point. So I would like to say, first and foremost, thanks to all of you who joined the channel for Baldur's Gate 3. We had a huge surge of people who joined the channel because of Baldur's Gate 3. I'd like to think that you're going to stick around for all the other things I do, and hopefully you do check out all the other stuff. But if you're just here for Baldur's Gate 3, the good and bad news is that the good news is that I'm continuing to produce Baldur's Gate 3 content, but the bad news is that it's going to be at a much slower pace moving forward. So one or two, like I said, probably only one, maybe two videos a week moving forward. Quick commercial break, everyone, to give a shout out to our first official guild officer, Bubalonia, as well as all of the guild champions, and of course, all of the members who help keep me on the air full time. To join as a member, simply click that join button below and pick your tier, but you can also support with super chats on any live stream or premiere, or super thanks on any upload or YouTube short. Don't forget the Discord. Let's get back to the video. And they're going to be very strategic, focused around my Drow Sorcerer and the things that I haven't seen yet with those characters. But also, as I said, those of you who want to suggest videos to me, let me know, and I will hopefully get to those. I won't be able to do all of them because some of them are outside of my wheelhouse, but I'll try to do the ones I can. But in the meantime, like I said, I've got a final thoughts video put together, my favorite boss fights video to put together, a final review of the game to put together, things I didn't like video to put together. All of those will be coming out over the last part of October as I get into my sorcerer playthrough and go from there. So hopefully you'll stick around for all the other things that I'm doing. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon if you haven't already done so. Thanks so much to those of you who have supported the channel. We've seen explosive growth over these past few months. We've got a bunch of new members who are supporting the channel financially. Thanks to those of you who do. I really appreciate it. It keeps me doing this full time. And it's been a great pleasure to play my druid with all of you in a live session because it was entirely live. The entire druid playthrough. I didn't play anything with the druid offline. It was all online. Sorcerer's gonna be a little different because it'll be a combination of offline and online. So, and the multiplayer stuff that we were doing, I mean, we may still go back to that. We've had some weeks off because of holidays and sicknesses, and then my anniversary, and then computer deaths for people, and just lots of different things. So we might be doing the multiplayer some more. We'll see. But that's the bard character I'm playing, and eventually I would like to get around to my Ranger Beastmaster and my drow rogue, who I'd really love to play through. But looking back at, Pillars of Eternity 1 and 2, those were games I've played multiple times over the course of 5, 6, 7 years. Baldur's Gate 3 is definitely in that category, so you can expect to see me continue to play this game for a long time, even if it's not the primary thing I'm doing. Kind of like if you remember the first 3 or 4 years of this channel, there was a lot of Lord of the Rings Online and Star Wars: The Old Republic because those are games that I've played since they launched. I still play those games, although I haven't played in a while. We will be getting back to those games in 2024 here and there. So stick around for all the fun stuff that's coming. Thanks so much, everyone. Love to hear your thoughts as we continue to go through Baldur's Gate 3. Drop them down below. Let me know what your thoughts were on the Druid playthroughs and everything else. And of course, join the Discord if you haven't already done so. Until next time, everybody, stay safe. Happy gaming.